It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It's the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name is Thomas Chick, easy for me to say. And joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster.
Easy for me to say.
And Liz Newman.
Hello, everybody.
Who's done.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Over and done.
How are you guys doing?
Overdone.
That's what I'm saying. You just said how I was.
Done over.
Yep.
Yep, I was over under, and under was overdone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are those betting odds or what?
The Airplane 2 reference. Well, I hope everybody is doing okay out there. So what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
Oh, man. Right. No, I've still just been watching spooky season on TV. They keep doing the Halloween marathon, and yeah, I mean, of course, I'm gonna watch that every time it's on. But it's like, come on, there's other Halloween stuff than Halloween. I mean, I guess it is its title, but they also did Final Destination up to the 6th one.
Okay.
And
Been 6 of them? God.
yeah, there's been 6. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have watched them.
Oh, good.
With somebody who has anxiety, it's like, ooh, the flagged wave. Is that a sign? Should I stay here? Are we gonna die? So yeah, they have the 6th one on. They have all of them on HBO. This has all been on AMC. They seem to be the spooky channel this year. I normally ABC does like their 30 days of Halloween. I haven't really seen anything about that. So
Well, they kind of shut down their channel that did that, didn't they? What was it called? Freeform or something like that?
Yeah.
was it? Huh.
Isn't it
Yeah.
gone?
I don't know if it's gone, but yeah.
No, Freeform's still going.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gone.
It used to be called ABC Family.
Yeah. Right before the Freeform. Now
Mhm.
that I say that, I'll have to check.
Yeah, maybe it's over there.
Yeah. And
Because-
normally they're good at the family horror shows, if you want to say that, but
Horror,
like Nightmare
right?
Before Christmas kind of stuff.
Well, remember this is the channel ABC Family that used to show Blazing Saddles all the time. You're just like, okay.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine watching a cut down version of Blazing Saddles.
Oh, heavily cut down for obvious reasons. You're just like, that's a lot of the jokes, dude. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see Freeform now that you say that. Huh. Nope, there it is. Tonight they're playing Hocus Pocus.
There you go. See, that's Halloween adjacent.
Yeah, but I mean those shows are cool, but yeah. Not me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
So did you enjoy the Final Destinations?
I did. I need to go back and watch the 6th one. now that I've seen all the other ones and everything else, because I
Is
had forgotten. I know for sure I hadn't watched 4 or 5, but I had forgotten a lot of 1 and 2 and 3. I had gotten the stories mixed up, so it was kind of nice rewatching those because it was like, oh, okay, that didn't happen here, that happened in
really,
another
it's
one.
real easy. That's one that's real easy to do.
Yep. And I call me sadistic, but I think some of the best part
Sadistic.
of those shows are the first 10 minutes when you see the
A
horrible
prophecy.
accident
Yeah.
that they're about to avoid. You know? It's like that's pretty cool. Although the lady who pulled over and kept everybody from getting on the highway, yeah, not in Texas, honey. You couldn't have done that.
You get shot pulling something like that here.
It definitely would have gotten shot. People would have went around. You know, you can't do that, especially because why she was crying. You know, but yeah, they weren't bad. And then they started a new series after the Final Destination on Sunday. It's part of Anne Rice's
Interview.
oh,
Interview with
no,
a vampire.
no, this is a new one. Talamascara. I'll have
Yeah.
to
Oh,
pull up the name again.
Talamasca.
Talamasca. Yep.
Yeah, I
They
remember that.
they kicked it off with 2 episodes. I haven't recorded. I haven't watched it yet. I was gonna do that last night, but I didn't figure that was too kid friendly.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
So
probably not. I mean, I
yeah,
don't think it would be too. I mean, it might be a little scary, but other than, I mean, it's not. Shouldn't be terrible otherwise.
yeah.
I mean, assuming I'm kind of guessing at what it's about. I mean, I know what the Talamasca was in Anne Rice's books, but interesting.
It does look it kind of reminds me of maybe Angel,
Yeah.
like a secret order kind of vampire thing.
Well, do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember the Friday the 13th TV series?
Hmm.
Because it was my take when that came out. God, 30 years ago. It was in the 90s, I think. Was, hey, this is actually not that different from what. So you could do something like this for Talamasca and it would work great.
Yeah,
So hopefully it'll be something similar to that. Or as long as it's good, I mean, who cares what it is? But
yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'll be able to tell you next week,
yeah, cool.
and they'll have another episode out. I don't know how long it's gonna be.
Who's running this?
AMC.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
And then there was another show that started too. Once again, I have recorded. I haven't watched it yet,
It.
but yes, the It one. Welcome to Derry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
It.
I've already started seeing people posting reactions to it.
I haven't read a lot because you know how I'm about spoilers and stuff, but the reactions that I'm seeing without spoilers seem to be pretty good. The only thing that I think that the show is running into the problem with is people aren't understanding the timeline. That with the movies fucked the timeline up big time. You know, it gave events out of order and everything else, and some of it even went back to flashbacks. So timeline screwed up in the movies. So if you're only familiar with the movies,
As most
y-
people are.
yeah, you might.
It might not make
I
sense.
You're right. It this actually happens before Georgie dies. So this would definitely be before the first movie, but not. There was another show that they did that will actually but the way this is done is everything that they have released on TV, this is actually like the middle of it. Um I have a timeline where they've shown how it kind of breaks down. I'll post it on our Discord too.
Cool.
And once I saw the timeline, it's like, okay, I can see why people are kind of like, huh? You know? We definitely get a bigger view of the Losers Club, which I'm happy for that. You know, hopefully we won't get a big view like Stephen King gave us with the Losers Club. We'll leave that out. Fingers crossed. But that one, like I said, that one seems to be getting some good response too.
Cool.
And then of course, Tracker season 3 kicked off with Jensen Ackles.
Who?
Yeah, who? On this show, his name is Russell. It seems to me, now this is going to surprise you guys, so make sure you're recording this, okay?
Mhm.
He's having a lot of success on this show. He really is. And they're talking about now making a spin-off where Russell will have his own shows, so Jensen will have his own show. Cool, great. Hey, hurrah. You know me, I'll watch it. The only thing is, but Jensen's done a couple of shows since he's left Central or Supernatural, and not all of them have worked out in his favor. It doesn't mean he's not a great actor. It doesn't mean he's not popular. He is. He trends every day on Twitter. I mean, he's
And
a pretty hot commodity right
I'm
now,
sure he's very thankful to you for that. But anyway,
right? But if they're gonna give him his own show again, what seems to be his downfall is when they don't give him a good, strong lead. He's a good lead. He's a good co-lead.
that's
He
where you're going with
needs,
this.
yeah, he needs
He needs a
the,
partner.
he does. He needs that person to play off of, because that's usually what makes him the best, is that chemistry that he seems to, the chemistry he had with Jared, the chemistry he had with Tom Welling on Supernatural. I mean, it's always he's amazing, but he's got to have that bounce off. You got to give me something that I can work with and do. That's the
Mhm.
kind of actor he is. I
Better known
now
as the Tim Conway effect.
and I think what happened in Countdown. I love Eric Dane. Don't get me wrong on this, but I don't think Eric Dane was a strong enough lead for Jensen to bounce off of. So a lot of times he was kind of flat. It, I'll say it. He was a little flat there. Sometimes when it called for emotion, it wasn't there. So they kind of filled it with, well, let's throw him in the shower then, which, hey, once again, I'm not complaining. But,
Liz is
you know,
always down for Jensen's shower scene, huh?
right? Or the naked come out of the crier vat kind of thing. Hey, I'm all for that. But I think he needed more. And I don't think Eric Dane and the girl they were trying to make his partner, I don't think they had that chemistry like he seems to have over on The Boys with Carl Urban.
Hmm.
He's or the other is it Anthony Starr, Homelander? He's a
Yeah,
very
something
good
like that.
actor too. So he's kind of surrounded by these guys who have got these strong personalities. They're very good actors, and he can step in and he can work with that, you know. So if they give him his own show, like I said, I'll watch it regardless. But I really hope they give him a strong actor, a grounded one that he can kind of bounce off of and shine,
Hmm.
But I don't see him being the kind of person who can handle a lead by himself. That nothing's wrong with that.
Sure.
Not in a TV show. Maybe in a movie, but not in a TV show. He
Well,
needs that.
there's kind of a lot more to carry in a TV show because you're getting a lot more material.
Yep. And
So
it's
yeah.
weekly. You've got to carry
Hmm.
that weekly. So but yeah, like I said, if they do it, great. I hope it works. I think what I like so much about him being on Tracker is it's kind of like a episode or two. It's not the whole thing. So it's kind of like a treat when he pops up. And not only that, Justin Hartley, he deserves this. I absolutely I love this guy in everything he's ever played in, you know. And so to see him and Jensen back together to do something, that's amazing. But I don't I don't want to see Jensen come in and take that from him. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needs
Because
Hartley's got his own show. He needs to have his own show.
right. And it's
And
great having him come on every once in a while, you
mhm,
know. But Justin Hartley is exactly what I was saying Jensen needs. He needs a guy like him he's a seasoned actor. He's done all kinds of TV, you know.
mhm.
He knows what to do and how to please the critics and that kind of thing, and, you know, he's a great actor. So, yeah, like I said, it's kind of good news. And then one other thing, I think this was my news article today, but since I'm already talking about Jensen, um, they're doing a new supernatural comic, which I thought was
Ooh.
kind of neat. They've had one in the past, but from my understanding, this is completely going to go back to like season one, monster of the week kind of thing. That there'll still be a big bad brewing in the background, but that's not going to be the host story. They're definitely going to do the monster of a week kind of vibe to this. So I don't know. To me, that seems kind of interesting. And I've always said that if they want to redo a Supernatural, they don't need to pick up with a season 16. They already screwed that up. They killed Dean. You know, there's no rewriting that. But to go back to the beginning of that, where we all fell in love with them and met the brothers and saw their relationship grow, I would love to see that. So I may actually have to pick that one up and see what they're doing. The only time I hate things like this is when they go back and try to make you forget that you spent 15 years of your life watching this TV show.
See,
You
and
know?
this is why it's kind of a mistake to try to do it in the first place.
Yeah, but from my understanding, now if I read it right, they're not going to mess with that kind of thing. This will kind of fill in like while John was away, what the boys were doing, kind of thing. So I hope they stick with the monster a week because we already know all of the dad's away on a hunting trip and mom burned on the ceiling and then came back and then left us again because she's such a great mom. But we don't need any of that. We already had that, you know. But to kind of fill in and maybe a time they didn't show us on TV, which is kind of what I'm taking it at, that this really it did happen during this time, but not enough that we saw it on an episode kind of thing, you know.
Hmm.
So we'll see. But I swear, if they start trying to write it that John and Mary were these awesome parents again, I'm out. You know, just like this TV series, I'll be gone.
Wow. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, like I said, 15 years, you know, and that wasn't just watching it once. You know, I've
No,
seen
no,
it
right.
quite a few times. So that kind of their canon and their lore is pretty much nailed down. You know, there's when you have a show that plays that long, you know, there's not a lot of stones not left unturned already, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm curious. Like I said, if they go back to the beginning like they said they were going to, this should be pretty cool. Because I don't know. One thing I don't know about Supernatural, I'm not sure of when Kripke left. I'm wanting to say it was after season 5, and the formula changed. And instead of us having a monster a week, it became kind of a monster a season, which was okay, you know, of course, but I really enjoyed the monster a week kind of thing. You kind of you learned more about the different monsters, But instead of it being focused on the monsters, we were learning about the brothers. So that's what I enjoyed. So then when they kind of lost focus on the brothers and went more into the monsters, it was kind of like, well, that's not what we're watching this for. People didn't watch The Walking Dead for the zombies, you know. They were watching it for the the
Come on
the
now.
the people and
There are a few perverse people who were just into the special effects for that show. Come on.
yeah, I mean, I liked it, you know. And I did start reading the comic because it was zombies, but it was the human side of it that kept
Sure.
me in there.
Right.
And then that's why I quit watching the TV show, is because they took that human side out of it. I've always said that Carl was the moral compass. It was the whole reason for that Rick did anything. So once they took that out of there, it's like the TV show lost its compass. It lost what it was supposed to be about and shifted into a different direction. And I didn't like that. So
And they're still trying to milk that.
they are. Well, they're trying to capture what they did in the first couple of seasons. And it's kind of like I was saying about Supernatural. What you did in the first couple of seasons is you made us care about these people. You gave us their story, and we wanted to see them survive. We wanted to see Rick survive for his kids, you know. So when they kind of shifted off of that to, yeah, I don't even know what the hell it was that they were trying to do with like Negan and stuff. Which Negan,
Melodrama.
yeah, I mean, Negan happened in the comics and he was ruthless in the comics. So, yeah, he was going to be there, but I think they spent too long on that in the TV show. Negan wasn't the biggest bad they ran across. You know, actually, it was the Alphas. And then after the Alphas, it was, I forgot that last team that came in. So they kind of made Negan more than what he was, you know. So it was kind of, which, hey, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You know, I'm not
Sure.
complaining about that, but it's not The Walking Dead. It wasn't. Yeah, now it's just, I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
evolved.
Gangs of New
Yeah.
York. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Gangs of Zombieland.
Right. And like I said, the comic was about how to survive, not in a world full of zombies, but in a world full of people who are trying to survive too, you know. That can be ruthless. That will kill you quicker than zombies will, you know.
Hmm.
And that's what made it interesting, and they kind of got off from that and went too far into the oppress 'em kind of thing, you know. Which, hey, I guess in the world times, that's probably what will happen.
Well, yeah,
People with the food win.
pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, comic out for Supernatural. We'll see how that goes. We'll see.
Cool.
Yep.
Good. It means they won't have to try to stuff Jensen and Jared into like short pants, make them pretend to be 12 years old or something.
Right. De-age him with the AI or something.
Mm,
And boy, you know, I never say his name right. Gelmore Toro?
Del
Ge-
Toro.
Del Toro.
Guillermo.
Um,
Yeah.
he's of course right now like on a high right now with Frankenstein at the theaters and stuff. And I'm also seeing really good things about that. And they had asked him about AI. And, you know, because there's been a couple of producers talking about, you know, we had that actress who came out that was getting hired before they admitted that she was AI. They had another studio turn a full script in that was complete AI. And, you know, so they were kind of asking him, you know, what do you feel about this? And he was like, yeah, pretty much that if he ever used any kind of AI, that would be the signaling that he's at the end of his career. He was like, that's for people who don't know how to write a movie. I have no problem writing a movie. Why would I need to use that? And almost got offended that the guy would even ask him that. But I could see his point. I've how many movies has he had that's been very, very, very successful? And you're going to
Mm.
ask this guy if he's going to start turning in, you know, his neighbor's homework pretty much. So he was kind of like, nah, fuck that. I ain't ever going to do that. But it sounds like with Frankenstein, he's talking about doing Phantom of the Opera. I think Thomas posted that on Discord.
Hmm.
Um, he's talking about doing Phantom of the Opera, but after that, or if he does that, he's actually talking about going back to animation again, which, oh my God, let
That could
me
be
eat
fun.
that up. Yeah.
Mm.
I I absolutely loved what he did with Pinocchio. When you heard the story behind that, and he had started doing stop animation before he even became famous. And he had this apartment where people would come in and help him like set up these little towns and stuff. And one night they all go out, they come back home, and somebody has broken into his home. They didn't steal his stuff, but they just like ruined it, crumpled it up and, jumped all over it and everything else. So after, all of the hard work and hours that he had put into that, he was like, nah, that hurt. Yeah, I am not doing that again. So that's when he went and did Pan's Labyrinth. Well, we know what happened there.
Mm.
He kind of blew up overnight and everything. So when he actually got back around to Pinocchio, that was like what he originally wanted to do in the very beginning of his career. So it was kind of a passion project. And you could really tell that through the story and the animation and the way he just laid it all out. So it's like, wow, I would love to see him do that again. And it's weird because he's really known for his monsters. And you would think with stop animation, like in Pinocchio, the Blue Fairy, oh my God. I mean, she was freaking amazing. Definitely could have walked in any of his movies and fit perfectly. So it's kind of like with the stop animation, it's kind of releasing the bounds that he had on his imagination. He's got more ways to do it, and things to show us. So
Mm.
I'm excited. I hope he does it. But there was one that he said he was working on. Oh, it was an Aleister Crowley story. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's one of the more popular ones. And he was like, I can't. It's dead in the water. It's kind of one of those once he got
Crowley or
into it.
Lovecraft?
Lovecraft. There you go. Lovecraft.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, he was trying to get, I think it was at the Mountains of Madness made for a while.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean it's the scope of that is just a little bit off. It's just it I can't see it ever being made into a movie.
yeah.
So it's because it's almost not a complete story. But anyway, I could go
Well, and
off on Lovecraft, but I
I
will
think
refrain.
his whole thing was he was overthinking it because there was way so much you can do with that story,
Hmm.
and so many monsters you can throw into that story. So I think for him, it was more of, I don't know where to stop with this, so I'm not, you know,
Right. And
I'm,
I mean, you kind of have to get to that point before you can even start in a way.
yeah,
So yeah, I can see where that is a problem.
yeah. But maybe if he did it animated, he could kind of, because I
Maybe.
think when you have creative people like that, I'll even throw like Tim Burton in them. I what I imagine goes through their mind is they've got such this visual picture of a monster or an ideal, and they're going to keep tormenting themselves until they can see it come to fruition in front of them. You know?
Hmm.
And when you have that creative mind, sometimes it's impossible to make that, come alive in front
Hmm.
of you kind of thing.
Right.
And I think that's where he was at was I see it and it's big and beautiful and wonderful, but what's in front of me is not. It's
Right.
the first day and I'm shaking her hand and sending her home. So and you can respect that because that means he cares and he doesn't want to give us something half-ass.
Sure. Sure.
So,
I don't
but
know
yeah,
that Del Toro has done anything half-assed in his whole
mm-mm,
life, but or at least not
no,
that has made it to the public.
mm-mm. And the more he talks about like his past and stuff, he has worked really, really, really hard to be where he's at. Nothing was ever handed to him. There
Mm.
was no, I know this guy who can help you kind of thing. He earned every single accolade that he has,
Hmm.
the hard way.
Hmm.
And not only that, to make movies like he has, and the Western audience, he doesn't even speak English that well, and his stories are freaking beautiful.
Well, he's gotten better at speaking English in
Yeah,
recent years.
over
But
the
yeah,
years.
at the
Yeah,
beginning, for sure, he was
yeah.
struggling to. Yeah, for sure.
So for him just to be able to just to I don't know how to say this to
Right. To have accomplished what he has accomplished
right, or
is,
just to even voice what he's done
yeah,
has been very hard.
right. A hell of an effort.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I don't think there's anything of his I've seen that I haven't cared for. I think with him, when you watch something of his, you can feel the work that went into that. It's not just oh, here's another story. It's something he really you can feel it. I don't know how to describe it. You feel it.
Right. There's a there's a sense of wonder in
Mhm.
his work that he has managed to consistently get across in whatever the genre.
Yep.
Because I'm the same way. I have not seen a movie of his that I didn't like.
Mm-mm. It took me a while for Pan's Labyrinth just because
Really?
of the subtitles. I think that's what
Oh,
threw me
okay.
on that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the subtitles didn't bother me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I see where
But
you're coming
then
from.
once I watched a little bit more of his stuff and I came back to that, it was like, okay, I
Hmm.
will read this movie.
Hmm. Yep,
It's that good.
this one is worth the work.
Yep. And probably his swan song. I mean, phew, he will be chasing that high for the rest of his life just because that was the one where it made everybody go, what's his name?
Yeah, wow.
What else has he done?
Hmm.
Hopefully, it's not his swan song.
Right, no, yeah, it's
Well,
his
not swan song, but
masterpiece, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one that he'll be chasing for a while because he won't. As
Well,
good as
and
he is, I don't think he'll come close to that.
and he'll do it differently every time too. I mean, he's one of those guys that it's not nothing. I mean, there's a sense of, oh yeah, this is Del Toro. You can tell like instantly just about.
It's yeah,
But all of his stuff is different,
yeah.
and
And
he's
and
doing
story
something new
wise,
every time.
visually, I think that's what gives him away.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
it's the monsters. I mean, you see one of his monsters and you know
You know
that's
it's him.
that's him. Yep.
Yep.
Didn't he also do Hellboy?
He did the first two
Yeah.
Hellboys. Yes. Yeah,
So
I
he's kind
remember.
of been a little everywhere.
Yeah, I remember hearing he featured prominently in the Mike Mignola documentary about both of those movies.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and Mignola was his take on those two movies was the first Hellboy was Mignola's movie. The second one was Del Toro's. He kind
Okay.
of took over, and yeah, I mean, Mignola was not mad at him at all. They're still friends, but
Right.
it was a different experience, and so yeah,
Huh.
it's because I mean he's Del Toro. I mean that's to an extent he's going to whatever he's doing, even if he's working on somebody else's stuff, he's going to own it in some way
Right.
because that's his
That's the way
style,
he is. Yeah.
right? That's just the way his stuff comes through, and so yeah.
Well, and part of why we love him too is
Hmm.
he's gonna stick it through. And just like what started the conversation is he's not afraid to pull the plug on things.
Right.
If he knows that he can't do what he wants to do, just feasibly, creative, he can do it, but I can't produce this in the real world the way I want to. He's not afraid to pull the plug.
Right, and with At the Mouth of Madness, it's not like he didn't try. He worked on that for like more than 10 years
Yeah.
trying to get that to work, and he finally just had to stop. He was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is just not going to happen.
This
I
is going to
mean,
be my madness.
right, he's going to drive himself nuts with this
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, it was better. I mean, he probably should have walked away earlier, and anybody else probably would have walked
Probably
away
would have.
earlier,
Yeah.
but
Or
he had to
they would have
try.
given us this half-assed piece that, yeah, I made it
Right.
work.
Yeah, that's where this conversation started. Was
Yep.
right there. He's not going to half-ass it
Mm-mm.
for sure,
Nope.
which I can respect.
And I also feel like if he did have a movie that bombed, he wouldn't be the one to turn around and blame the audience. It would be, wow, maybe I need to go back and rethink some
I
things,
think
you
I
know?
think that's not a natural reaction in any case for any filmmaker, but whatever. We've had that conversation before too.
Had to throw it in there.
Uh-huh.
But with all this stuff that I've been seeing on TV, I'm surprised I haven't seen more of his stuff for Halloween, you know?
Yeah, I don't think he ever really got pigeonholed as a Halloween guy. I mean, I don't think most of what he does, I don't think it gets considered to be horror in a lot of cases. I think it's more a strong dark fantasy thing, but I
Yeah,
don't think he's ever gotten pigeonholed as horror,
it's
which
horror.
is I think more I think it's probably why you're not seeing a lot of him right now.
Hmm,
I mean, if you've got it on DVD, watch it by all means, but
right. Well, and he's all over streaming.
sure.
Sometimes it's nice for the TV to go, hey, look, you're going to be watching this all day.
It makes it easier for you, yeah. If you're not in the
Yeah,
mood to decide, sure.
right. I ain't flipping through streaming services.
Right.
So far, they've been on the money.
There you go. Good.
Oh, but I did have a question for Thomas. Rewatching Halloween for 50 times, I don't know, too many times over and over again. The little girl who's the clown, is that Jamie's daughter or Lori's daughter?
Yes.
Where is she at during all of that?
She's only in 4, 5, and 6. And then
But
that
did they?
character basically disappears because we go to different timelines.
But I don't even remember them really even mentioning. Other than her calling Michael uncle, it was kind of like, oh, that's Lori's daughter. And now I'm
Yeah,
like, what, 50 years old
because
and
because
watched this for
supposedly,
years.
yeah, Lori got married and then supposedly died in some kind of accident and left her alone, and she got adopted by the Crothers.
Okay. So Lori's dead and
Lori's
or
dead in that timeline though. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 timeline. Lori's dead.
okay.
So we're dealing with a Halloween multiverse here.
Well, I
That's
mean a lot of these ones have done that. I mean,
Oh, sure,
Texas
sure.
Chainsaw Massacre literally done the same
Oh
thing.
shit, Freddy and Jason are all over the fucking place. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just
No,
making it
because I
trying to make it
mean,
make sense.
you kind of you pigeon yourself into a corner, and then you go, well, the only thing I can do is go back to the first film and then do a new sequel and just basically disregard everything else that's come before it.
Right, because it's hard to do 6 movies of anything, really.
Yeah. Well, and then
So
Brandon, he asked me, he says, Michael Myers is wearing cowboy boots? And I said, what the hell? It was, I said, no, I said, that's not Michael Myers. That's a whole separate guy. And he's like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. I said, we saw him walk in front of the police station. We saw him go into the police station, and then all that happened. I said, that was not Michael Myers. But he's the guy who sprung him. And he's like, well, then who is he? And I'm like, I mean,
The guy who sprung Michael Myers. That's who
yeah.
I mean,
I said they kind of showed him at the beginning of the movie, but not again until the very end when he busted him out.
he shows up a couple of times, but just very sparse.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you know the story about the filming of the thing, I mean, hell, the writers didn't know. They just said, hey, they were literally writing the script as they were filming, because it was literally Halloween 4 was so successful, and that was in '88. They immediately greenlighted a sequel and said it's got to be out in less than 12 months. It's got to be around Halloween for '89. So
Yeah.
they literally had no script. They got everybody cast and then just
made it up as they went along.
made up as they long, and it freaking shows because it's horrible.
It is horrible.
Yeah, that never ends well.
Well, and then it kind of upsets me that people think now that that's Michael Myers in Cowboy.
It's just a man in black, and the writers just said their thoughts were, well, you know what? That's not our problem. We finished our script. We finished Halloween 5. We're moving on. Whoever comes after us will have to deal with that, and they did in 6. And some people don't like how that was handled, but
They didn't show 6.
Well,
I'm kind of surprised they did 5.
Well, I mean, there is a reason why there was like a 5 or 6 year gap between 5 and 6, because 5 did so horribly.
Yeah.
But in fairness to, I can't remember his name right now, who wrote the script for 6, who was a fan of the franchise. He did everything he could to try to make sense of everything that's been presented before. And then they had to make changes because several reasons. One of them, most importantly, was the fact that Donald Pleasance died shortly after filming because he got ill.
Yeah.
So the way the story originally went, he was going to be vital for future installments. But with him being gone, we got to do something different. Plus, it didn't test as well, which is funny watching what's now known as the producer's cut. I think it does. It makes more sense compared to considering what was trying to be done.
Yeah.
Which, just especially the pile of shit that Halloween 5 was. And try to make some sense of that, and try to tie in the 4 and 2 and 1 and that type of stuff. So
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch 6 again. You said I've just been watching the ones that they've been playing, and they stop at 5 and go into Rob Zombie's first one. But they don't play the second one. And Phil was like, where's the second one? It's like, you don't want to watch the second one. I said, you would think when he killed Sherry Moon off, that'd be the last we'd see of her, right? No. Not.
No. Of course
At least she's got clothes on when we see her again, but. it's like I love Rob Zombie. I grew up listening to his music. I mean, I like the first Halloween. I understood what he was trying to do with the second one. I do, it's horror. I love his horror movies, but why does his wife have to be naked in every movie he does? It's
What I
like,
pay for.
well, other than that, if you watch her acting, she's not much of an actress. I mean,
Really?
he he could get better. I mean, I know Tim Burton did the same thing with Helena, and he also did the same thing with Wyona, but they could act. You know? So it wasn't why did you do this? And they kept their clothes on, but it seems like with Sherry, it the, he makes her this crazy, psychotic, you know, naked chick in his movies. So yeah.
Well, I hope he didn't do that for the monsters. Jesus.
I still haven't seen that.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. It was kind of one of those that was like,
Yeah, I don't think I want to know.
yeah, I some things are just better left alone,
Yeah, I just
Totally
can't
They
forgot
imagine.
about. Yeah, I
they
totally
have
forgot
too much
about the he.
nostalgia connected to them, and no matter what you do, that's like Wednesday with Tim Burton. I won't watch it. I heard it's doing really good and everything else, but it's kind of like, I grew up with a different Wednesday than the one that he's showing us. And that's cool because it's a hit and people are
You're talking about
identifying with it.
Well, and I'm
you're talking about
glad.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah, well, Christina Ricci and then who was before her? I
Lisa
mean, I
Loring.
grew up
Oh,
with the black and white on TV.
I
So
know.
Right.
I was being a smart ass.
okay. So I
Imagine
say
that.
Christina Ricci. And there was a time in my teen years that she was my favorite actress just because she did play the more weird gothic kind of parts.
Hmm.
She was like a little Wyona, which I also loved very, very much. And then she did, what was it, Lizzie Borden? And then after that, you just didn't hear very much from her anymore. Which kind of sad 'cause she was good.
Too.
Christina Ricci.
Oh, she's still around, but I can't remember what she's done lately. But I mean,
I think she's on Wednesday now. She's like a teacher or something, which
Cool.
that's kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just some things I just, you know, cool, but I'm going to keep my childhood intact.
Well, and it's good that you
well,
sort of saw that coming and recognized it and just sort of chose to walk away, and that's fine. That's good.
Yep. And if I watch it and I hate it, then I hate Tim Burton. And it's like, I can't do that. So,
Well, whatever it takes to make you realize all of that. It's fine.
yeah.
It's all good.
Which is almost why I didn't finish watching Countdown. It's like, oh man, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
We mute it, it might be better.
I've watched plenty of movies like that, but anyway.
I just think there's a certain part he's really good at playing, and he needs to stick with that. He too bad you've been typecast.
Well, by you anyway.
Well, and by the whole Supernatural family that,
So far, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
for what, 20 years he's been attached to?
Hmm. There's a distinct downside to doing something like that,
Yep.
and he's hitting it.
I watched Jared in, God, I forgot he was in it. It was House of Wax. It was like, damn. And then I started laughing because once I remembered he was in this movie and that Paris Hilton was in there, it made me laugh at all the Paris Hilton jokes that they had done on Supernatural. And it's like, that's why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that makes sense. But I had completely forgot that he was in that.
Well,
He,
Jared was in the Friday the 13th remake.
yeah. And there was a couple of different horror movies that he's been in. So it's like, I didn't see. I knew him from Gilmore Girls. He wasn't the reason I started watching Supernatural. I had been following Jensen from my soap opera, to Smallville, Wishbone, all this other kind of stuff to Supernatural. So
Bloody
Jared, I mean,
Valentine.
yeah, I liked him in Gilmore Girls, but I wasn't real familiar with him. So if I had to pick between the two, it would definitely be Jensen. I've been following longer.
Elder may shop.
No
Yeah.
shit, right?
you know. And he grew up in Richardson. I mean, how cool is that? We could have shopped at the same store and not even known it. And now he lives in New York. What the hell?
That's where the work is.
Did he? Yeah, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so far that work's not paying off for him.
Well,
He
he'll
needs to
keep
get his ass
trying, you
back
know.
to Texas.
He'll keep trying. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I do hope they find that one that he just soars in again, But like I said, they need to do what I said. They need to give him a strong co-lead that he can chemistry off of.
Mhm. Well, hopefully they're listening.
Yeah. And so far, that seems to be guys, not girls.
That's a
Because
little weird, but okay.
it is. Well, I mean, like on Smallville, he was Lana's boyfriend, I think. And they were cool, but to me, the best interactions was between him and Tom Welling. That's when, like I said, he kind of really shined. Not saying that Lana wasn't a good actress or anything. I just think that Tom kind of pushed him more,
Well,
and you
and
could
some of
see
that
that.
could have been writing too.
Yeah,
I mean, if there's conflict, I mean, you don't want there to be too much. I mean, you want there to be a little bit, probably, if it's like a long-term role
right,
between him and Lana. But that is not the same as between him and freaking Superman.
right. But yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Hmm hmm
But that's
Alrighty
it.
then.
I'm done.
Ah, you're done.
I'm done.
Well,
So done.
I was going to ask a question about Final Destination, but that was an hour ago, so I just
Oh,
said screw it.
I'm sorry. I got off on Jensen. Never mind.
Yes,
Okay.
I caught it.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty red right
uh-huh.
There may be
Alrighty.
some question marks out there, but we're not
It's
going to
probably
explain
better
it.
that way.
Yeah,
pretty
we're
well.
not going to
Yeah,
no.
Probably better that
slip
way.
of the tongue.
Please, Mike, go.
Go.
Okay, I'm going.
Because that just made that one worse, too.
Yep. That's okay. I'm doing a total 180. Because I went back this week to music documentaries.
Mm.
And the one I found and decided to watch was simply titled The Thin Lizzy Story.
What was it
Um,
about?
AC/DC.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
they came back in black.
Oh,
Was
man.
Jensen in it?
Oh, gosh. You guys. Yeah, no. So it is, and it's actually a pretty detailed, musically oriented documentary. It's definitely like tracking through their body of work as much as anything. I mean, you're picking up I mean, it's basically, of course, Phil Lynnott's story, and you're picking that up as we go, but they're doing it through the lens of talking about the music and talking about each of their albums and kind of reviewing it and all that. And they've got critics and quote unquote experts along the way. They also talked to Phil Lynnott's mother quite a bit. This dropped in 2008, so it's been a while. But it was 20 years after he died too. But his mom features pretty prominently in this. That's how we get to find out about like him as a kid and stuff, and then it goes through like personnel changes for the band and stuff, and it doesn't get into a ton of detail about his death, but it does. It's there. Um, and it does. I think it does a pretty good job. I mean, I wish if there's one weakness in the documentary, I think it would be nice to have had a couple of other music people talking about the stuff. It's mostly really just three people. I think five would have been a better number for that. And I mean, I'm not even concerned about making the thing longer, just adding some more opinions to it, I think would have improved things a little bit, maybe even some different opinions in some cases. Um, but generally speaking, it's a good documentary, especially if you're like into the music aspect of it. I don't know that I would call it a musician's documentary, but it's at least a music critics documentary. It's a music fans documentary. Um, and they did a bunch of stuff. I mean, they were releasing albums left and right there for a while. I mean, like 15 years. They were on the road constantly, and um, honestly, kind of a lot of personnel changes in the band. Um, so some variances in different styles along the way that they picked up and dropped, and it's interesting. Like I said, from a music fan's perspective, there's some fun stuff there. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. Whether you're a fan of the band or not, I mean, mostly here in the States, most people have probably heard three Thin Lizzy songs and may not remember two of them most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody remembers The Boys Are Back in Town. Most people, if most people heard Jailbreak, they would remember it. They would be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard this before."
Mhm.
And then of course there's Whiskey in the Jar, which is a song that Phil himself hated. But well, he didn't hate the song. Obviously, they wouldn't have recorded it if he had hated the song. But he didn't. He didn't like because it was kind of their breakout hit in Ireland when they were this. It was on their first album, and that bothered him because that's not what he wanted to be known for. Um, but anyway, so it's it's interesting. It's another this Thin Lizzy is another one of those bands that if you get the opportunity, if you can find it, I mean, Spotify's got their albums.
Right.
There are probably other sources if you're really anti-Spotify, um, but their music is worth a listen. It's it's not all exactly what you would think just from hearing The Boys Are Back in Town. It's there's that in it obviously, but like I said, their style changes and it varies, and new players come in and do different things, and the band evolves, and it's an interesting. It's as much of an interesting musical story as it is the documentary. So definitely worth checking out. I watched it on Tubi. I think it's probably in more places than that too, but it's good. It's an
Hmm.
interesting story.
That sounds interesting.
Does sound interesting.
Okay. Cool. Les.
Liz, are you done?
I'm so done.
Okay. Just wanted
Wow.
it established.
That came from Les. Wow.
Mm.
Other than the movie we will talk about tonight, I watched Three Little Gems on Tubi. The first was, well, let's see, you've had Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein, Frankenweenie, Frankenhooker, and I watched Frankenthug.
Frankenthug?
Frankenthug, which was horrible.
Yeah,
I
doesn't sound too
can't,
promising.
I can't imagine.
But it was well worth the watch because it was so horrible. And then I turned around and watched one called "Don't F in the Woods," and I cleaned that up.
hmm Sure.
And it was a horror movie, something that was tracking people in the woods, which they're not supposed to F in. Um, and after I watched it, I watched the sequel, "Don't F in the Woods 2." Another bad movie.
Wouldn't that more accurately be "Don't F in the Woods" also, or something?
The sequel? Yeah. Now, I also watched Scream, Scream and Scream Again, or something like that, which was a hokey movie. So these are all movies that I uh, adhere to. These are the kind of movies that make me happy. But I don't know if I can actually say watch them. Let's just say I watched them for you. Move on.
Now, did we watch Scream and Scream Again for the show, or did I watch it on my own once? Because I've seen that, and it is terrible. I will agree with you, but I can't remember if we all watched it or if it was just me.
I don't remember seeing it.
Okay, must have just been me then.
I had seen it when it was new, but
Of course.
make it sound like I'm old. Hey, I heard
Oh,
that.
we would never tell you that to your face.
Main statement there is to my face, but okay. That's about all I've got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Bad movies are fun.
Mhm.
Um, I watched a film that appeared on I think I talked about this list a few weeks back of the kind of the disaster films because
Yeah, you mentioned
because it
that.
I mean, okay, I did. I couldn't remember if I had or not because I've seen quite a few videos of lists, and I know I hadn't talked about all of them, but so I wasn't
Mhm.
sure if I covered that one. Um, but it was curious. I was curious about it. It's called The Big Bus. This is from 1976. It is a parody, and so I mean we're talking about it predates Airplane by 4 years.
Mhm.
Uh, stars Jessica Bologna, Stockard Channing, Harold Gould, Ned Beatty, Howard Hessman, Richard Mulligan, Sally Kellerman, uh,
Damn, that's a lot of people.
Renee. I could never pronounce his last name.
Auberginois.
Yes, thank you. Lynn Redgrave. I mean, it's trying to do like the whole disaster thing, which was a all-star cast.
Mhm.
The premise is the big bus is the first nuclear-powered bus, and it was making a non-stop trip from New York to Denver. And one name I didn't list because it's the bad guy who wants to see this not succeed, Jose Ferreira.
Ooh.
You talk about a shock. You're like, really? Him in one of these type of films? Okay. And his brother. Oh God, I'm blanking on his name. He was on the Rockford Files. He was the buddy.
Wallace Beery?
No.
No,
I know. I know his face. I don't remember his name.
I'll have to look it up. Hang on.
Stuart.
Joe Santos. No. Yeah. Oh, Stuart Margolin. Stuart
Yes,
Margolin.
yes, that's him.
Angel.
That's Angel. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I had to see his face.
I mean, it's a decent movie. I laughed a few times. I mean, of the two, Airplane's a lot funnier, but this was a funny film. And there's a lot of parallels between the two films because Joseph Blanc is the lead, and he's kind of the disgraced. He was a disgraced character. He was a bus driver, and there was an accident, and to survive, him and his co-driver had to survive. This co-driver, he was accused of eating the entire passengers allotment. He
Damn.
said no, he didn't do it. He was eating the luggage and the seats, and 1 foot. I ate 1 foot. It was the co-driver that ate everybody else.
So this is a dark parody.
Well, that's as dark as it gets. But like I said, I mean, there's several attempts to sabotage the bus, and there was some funny stuff. I did chuckle a little bit, but it just I was really hoping it would be. I could see why it wasn't as successful. But, I mean, one of the biggest laughs I had was right at the beginning. There's an explosion, and Harold Gould. You may not. You're more than likely not gonna know the name, but if you see the face, go, "Oh, I've seen him in this, that, and the other, and all that." He was carried out. Oh, and another name I forgot. Larry Hagman was playing the doctor, and he was attending to him. And Stalker Channing comes over because Harold Gould's playing her dad, and she's calling out to him. She's calling out to him, and Larry Hagman says he can't hear you anymore, and pulls a sheet over his face. And all of a sudden you hear, "I can hear her," and he pulls the sheet back. He's not dead.
Nice.
Yet.
Like, wow. Okay. I can see where we're going with this. All right. I sat there and tried to think about it. I know some of it's writing, but I think the other thing that, the thing about Airplane, I think, in my opinion, is the fact that all those names that I listed for the big bust, they're either comedic actors or they've been in comedies.
Yeah.
And the thing about Airplane is it was all dramatic actors. They're saying and doing things you go, I can't believe they're doing this. This is not the actors that we know them from doing. I think that's part of it. I think that's a major part of it.
That is part of what made Airplane successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It was
So,
straight up how are these guys doing this with a straight face?
yes.
They don't do comedy. What are they doing here? Yeah.
Right. So,
Totally.
I just watched today. Someone was reacting to it. Just dropped today. Cabin in the Woods. I'm like, I hadn't seen this movie in a while, so let's watch it and let's see how they react to it.
Mm-hmm.
Which was good. My only problem was she was trying to figure everything out, and she was talking everything out. It's like, just she's asking questions like, just give it about 30 minutes and you'll get to your answer. It's just, hey, just hang on. It's okay. Just hang on. It's all right. But the reason why I brought it up was a comment that was listed. I was like, oh my God, I did not catch that. And I feel like an idiot, and it makes me appreciate the movie even more. Now, Mike, I know you're a big fan of this film,
Mm-hmm.
and you may have caught it, and you may have even said it, and I didn't catch it. The Ancient Ones is the audience. And Bradley Whitford and all of them are basically the movie industry. So they're trying to appease the audience who's watching what's going on. And if they don't succeed, then it's the end of the world. In this case, would be the movie franchise. I was like, oh wow, yeah, that makes sense, right?
It does. Yeah. I don't know that I don't know that I've made that connection before.
Yeah, I didn't until then. I was like, oh, but I can see it. I can totally see it.
If that was intended, I think they masked it well, and they should have. I think letting that be too obvious is honestly just plain too obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But that just makes me appreciate the movie even more.
It does make sense that to view it that way for sure.
If that was their intention, I was like, well, that just makes it even smarter than we give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And we give it a lot of credit for being smart. And another, I gotta mention this because I laughed so hard at the comment. I had seen this video, it's a composite video reactions, and this is the death of Spock from Star Trek II. Spoiler alert. And the thing, one thing watching that, it's something I guess because I hadn't watched the movie in a long time for a couple of reasons. But watching that and then watching Shatner's performance at the funeral, I know he gets a lot of crap. He gets a lot of tease for his acting. That's a pretty good scene that he does. That was a pretty good performance. That was a really good performance. So I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. With him, his voice breaking when he's talking about Spock as his friend.
As he's eulogizing his friend. Yeah.
Yes, it was really well done. But the comment, I got it because I got a point. I could bring it up because you guys will love it. Someone says that radiation poison was so powerful that not only did it kill Spock, it turned Kirstie Alley into Robin Curtis.
Oh man, that is good.
You see why I had to break it up.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I sat there and I was rolling laughing. I was like, oh, that's so good. That's so good. I wish I had thought of something like that.
Yep, that's good. I mean, we all know what turned Kirstie Alley into Robin Curtis, but anyway.
We know the truth, but still, that's just funny.
It's good. It is good.
Another thing I thought it was funny because with it being October, so all the reactors are watching horror films, and one of them that's making rounds, which is I appreciate, is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Cool.
So I've watched a couple of these, watched the entire film and all that, and it's so funny because there's a couple of things that I kind of watched for to see if they would pick it up, and they never did. And they involve Wilford Brimley. How about the scene where he's locked in the tool shed, and Kurt Russell visits him, and Wilford goes, "Hey, I'm doing much better. Please let me come back. I want to be back in with you guys and all that." The fact that no one mentions there's a freaking noose right between the two people. Do you remember that? There was a noose right there. It's like, guys, y'all didn't notice that?
Seems important, doesn't it?
The guy says, "I'm doing a lot better," has a noose right there next to him.
Right. He has bothered to make a noose. Not something you do by accident, really.
Right. But, one of them was like, how did he get infected? It's like, go back and watch the sequence of him talking about the thing. He's walking around and he's got his pencil with the extended eraser, then touches it, and then puts
it in his mouth.
Eventually puts it to his lip. Yeah, it's like there's where he got infected, right there.
Mm.
It's so subtle. That's what makes it so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like an idiot as many times as I've watched this film. The whole sequence with the plasma getting sabotaged. It's like, well, who had the keys? Well, Doc it's only one to get in there to get the plasma, and Gary's the only one that carries the keys. I'm just like, so it's obviously got to be one of those two, right? Well, hang on a second. Let's go back a little bit. Sequence where Windows and Bennings are moving the corpse into the storeroom. Windows leaves. Why did he leave? To go get the keys. He comes back, sees that the thing is gone, and Bennings is being attacked, drops the keys. I never noticed it. As many times as I've watched this, I totally missed all that. I'm like, I feel like an idiot. So you dropped it to where anybody could get to it. get it,
Mhm.
do what they needed to do. Anyway,
Yep.
gotta pay attention.
hmm Some filmmakers are better about that sort of thing than others too. Carpenter's pretty good with that.
Carpenters can be really good with it, yeah. Alrighty, on that note, let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we'll get back in with this week's discussion. Welcome back. We are now concluding Horror Month. Dun, dun, dun. Although October already be gone by the time this drops, but hey. Anyway, this year's theme is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I'm sure if you've been listening the last few weeks, you knew that. And, excuse me, our installment this week is from 1990. This was made for TV for the UK, titled Jekyll and Hyde, starring Michael Caine and Cheryl Ladd. I saw this, I'm like, okay, Michael Caine as the title character, this should be interesting. Let's check it out. So let's get your thoughts about Jekyll and Hyde. Boy, this is a good start.
She's impressed.
She's warming up. Let her warm up. It's fine.
Well, I'm wondering how to say this without getting censored.
Oh, too late for that.
Yeah,
Mm.
I didn't care for this one. This one for me was a hard watch. Little rapey. I guess all of them to a certain degree have been, but for me, this one kind of stepped over a line when she found out the guy who raped her was him. She still chose to stay there and cover for him and love him and act like, oh, it's not a big deal that he brutally raped me.
Oh yeah, right. Raped her
So,
and beat the shit out of her.
yeah. So it was kind of yeah.
Mhm.
For me, I was screaming at the screen the whole time. Are you fucking stupid? I mean, especially when she was telling the cops, oh, I have no, you know. Um, I guess for me, it was kind of hard to see Michael Caine as that kind of person too. Um, but if you take that part of the movie out, which is a lot of the movie, um, I did like the transformations in these. I thought it was done a little bit better than the other ones we'd seen. Granted, this is probably the newer
Oh, this is
movie that we've seen
definitely the
of it.
newest. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to come back to the transformation scene here in a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't care for this. I I thought Michael Caine did a good job. I absolutely love Cheryl Ladd in this. I mean, for the parts that they were playing, I think they definitely did pull it off pretty good. Um, God, I was in love with her hair. Freaking beautiful. Uh,
You're not wrong.
and it's crazy to me when you see someone like her. I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, hands down gorgeous. But she looks so different when they put her hair down. Like almost a completely different person when you see her from the nice pullback updo to straight hair down. It was like, wow, that's her. You know? Or at least to me, she looked completely like a different person. Um, the whorehouse madam.
Well, she was hard to look at too, wasn't she?
Yeah, her lipstick drove me nuts. It's like she smeared it
I
And
don't remember lipstick. It was her eyes that were getting me.
well, even her now, see, as a woman, I can tell you, when you wear eyeliner and mascara, by the end of a day, especially a hard day, which they were trying to portray her as, you're going to have what they call raccoon eyes. It's where the mascara and the eyeliner have totally melted all the way around your eyeballs, you know. So
Hmm.
that part was believable because during the day, there's not a lot you can do for that unless you're constantly in the bathroom touching up, you know. Lipstick, you would feel that. Oh my God, that would drive you insane all day long. It's like, go fix it. I don't know if they were trying to give her that, you know, what do they say, rode hard, hung up wet kind of look, but
Mm. That was
you
the
know,
impression I got. I mean, I couldn't erase the concept of a clown mask out of my head
yeah.
anytime I saw her. But
Well,
yeah,
and
I think the whole
especially
point
that
was
hair color. That yeah.
big time.
So it did make her kind of clownish.
Hmm. And not in a
And
good way.
then they're like all interrogating her. Who's the doctor? Who's the doctor? And she's finally like, he's the devil. And they're like, okay, we're done. Okay, you've been interrogating her for how long now? All else. As soon as she says that, we're done. Let's get out of here. She doesn't know.
Hmm.
She's only been taking money from this guy for what, the past year, she said. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it was cash, and it's she
Yeah.
doesn't. It's not like he's swiping a card or something, and it's easy to get that information. It's real easy to be sneaky and deceitful
she
back
knew
then when
enough
there
that
was
he
no
was a doctor,
technology.
right?
It's
I
it,
mean,
it's cash and it's in the poor part of London. So yeah,
Yeah.
she,
it,
she ain't
yeah,
gonna turn down the cash.
And I couldn't believe that she was okay with him just coming in there and roughing her girls up.
that seemed
I
a
mean,
stretch too.
you're right, because although yes, that is good money for her, those girls are her money every day. You know, you
Hmm.
don't want them
Yeah.
bruised and scratched and scarred. So that was kind of hard to believe too that she'd just be like, "Oh, it's okay. Let him go."
Hmm.
So I think
Paid
in
big time
today's
for
time
it.
she'd be arrested too for accessory, but
Say what, Les?
He paid big time for that. He was paying for the fact that he could do almost anything he wanted with her, with any of the girls.
Clearly,
So,
yeah.
so
But even if your girl is now this was 1809 or whatever, even at that time, we'll just say $20 a day is what this girl's bringing in. But now here's a guy who's going to come in and give me $50. Okay, do whatever you want. Well, you've messed her up pretty bad. Now you've knocked her out of commission for at least a good week. That's $140 compared to the $50 that you gave me.
right. It's bad business.
She's losing money. Plus, not only that, I mean, I don't understand how a guy would want to sleep with a prostitute anyways, but you kind of got to be careful about diseases and stuff. So would you really want to sleep with a girl who had scars and bruises and everything else all over her? Just because you don't know where it looks like she's been through hell and back. Sorry, but STDs kill you back then.
They do,
Look
and
at Doc
honestly,
Holliday.
they didn't know that half of them were transmitted that way. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that was a gamble anyway. But yeah, I mean
yeah. You
yeah,
want your girls looking good. That's your money.
right.
And it seems like something like that would take, now I can't make $20 off of this girl. I'm going to have to make $5 off this girl. But yeah, it was different, a different kind of story.
That's different.
Different. That yeah,
She,
that was a thing.
Yeah.
uh, that's a hell of a way of keeping it clean.
Mm.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I did not like this at all. I kept laughing every so often, but the reason I was laughing was not because of anything that was happening in the movie. It was because I kept remembering Les, and I'm totally throwing Les under the bus here, but not really. I remember Les referring to. I remember Les referring to the Spencer Tracy version as melodrama. And I was like, oh, fucking buddy, we have hit entirely new levels of melodrama with this thing. This was Jekyll and Hyde, the telenovela.
Yeah.
And it drove me up the fucking wall the
Oh, God,
whole
yes.
time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Between the music and the just insane levels of overacting going on. And I actually, Liz, I agree with you. Michael Caine did a really nice job, and Cheryl Ladd was really good. And I actually appreciated Joss Ackland's overacting. He was hamming it up and having a ball with it.
Which one was that?
That was her dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was, oh man, I actually enjoyed his ham, but the rest of the characters, the cops and the reporter, it
The
was
reporters drove me crazy.
infuriating.
Yeah.
It
And I
just,
guess his name was Snape because he sniffed all the time. Was that the?
maybe, who knows? Probably. I mean, I'm sure it was something that simple because, oh my God, it
Yeah.
was just a constant. It was, it was,
It's like blow your nose, then go talk to the guy, okay?
it just, oh my, it just drove me nuts watching this movie because it was, I mean, it was, it was, it was a soap opera. It was the soap opera version of Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, even down to who's the father.
Yeah.
And that, oh, don't even get me
Oh
started on
God,
that. Don't
I
even
almost
get me
forgot
started.
about that.
I nearly threw up when I saw that at the end. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've seen in a long. And I watch dumb
Yeah,
movies for fun, people, just like
that
Les does. And that was the dumbest thing I've seen in a movie in a long time.
that cut reminded me the way they froze on his face and everything,
Yeah.
like something out of Twilight Zone.
Oh, but it was like the worst possible something out. It was like
Hmm.
making fun of it in a way that just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And it was the deal was it that just added to me that was just the icing on the melodrama cake that
So
was
she
this
was
movie.
wrong. It wasn't Jekyll's baby. It was Hyde's.
Well, but Jekyll and Hyde were the same person, except
Yeah.
apparently it changes him on a fucking DNA level
Yeah.
because his kid looks like the monster. I mean, really?
Yeah.
Seriously? That's just wow.
Well, and another part I didn't understand when he first comes to her and tells her, and it's all yours and everything else. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I thought, okay, so this is going to be one of his victims because the way I lived in that house, and what he did to me. What do you mean? What did he do to you? You were fine with what he did with you until he shot himself. I mean,
Hmm.
you know. So why would you not take the house and the money,
Right.
especially
It's not
now
like
that
she
you've
had
got a
anything
kid?
else.
Yeah. So it was like,
She had pissed her own life away by screwing her brother-in-law in the first place. I
all
mean, come
right.
on.
And they said she was married.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who? And see,
He was the
I
captain.
thought she was married to her dad because I didn't realize that was her dad until he went to throw her out and she was like, "Father." And it was like, "Oh, okay. So this isn't the husband.
Oh,
This
he
is
was
just
No.
a, you
he
know,
was he was
over
shown
repetitious dad."
to be a captain on
In
in
Yeah.
Singapore.
He was in the
Singapore.
military. He was in Singapore. He was
Ah,
a ship captain or some sort of military. He was a military officer. So
and
he was completely out of the picture.
Yeah.
that's why he asked her, "Are you going back to Singapore?"
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know who he was at first. I did kind of like the banter that he and Hyde had, or Jekyll had. I guess Hyde there at the end too, huh? And
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of ironic that through this whole movie he's talking about, what a clown he is and how stupid he is and how wrong he is, and that's the person he winds up going to for help. It's like,
hmm
boy, swallow your ego and your monster and go talk to the guy.
hmm And hope like hell he can do something.
Yeah, and he couldn't.
Nope.
Nope. And he couldn't even tell anybody because if he did, it totally discredited all of his work that he was saying that he was right about.
hmm
So it was kind of one of those moments of, what do you do? I hate this man so much, but I can't even expose him because it would make me look like an idiot.
Oh, he was doing a pretty good job of doing that anyway. But yeah.
Right. And then when they're trying to figure out this powder and everything else, and they're getting the top scientist and he comes in, why didn't they ever go to Jekyll? It's been all over the newspapers. These two scientists are fighting and they're, both top in their field and everything else. Then why was this the only one you went to?
Well, he's just the first one they went to because he's the established guy. He's the
Well,
guy
he
you go
even
to
used
for that
it
sort
all.
of thing. And the deal is that he wouldn't go to Jekyll.
Yeah.
He was sending it out to other places to have other people try to analyze it, but he didn't give any to Jekyll
Mm-mm.
because he was pissed at Jekyll, like
Well, then
terminally.
later found out he could have helped him. And
Uh-huh.
see, I don't know. I don't think he could have helped him.
Probably not.
He was wanting the powder. Now, the powder is what turned him into Hyde, but
Well,
you're turning into Hyde, so you don't need the powder for that anymore.
but he drank it. He drank what little was left in that bottle and turned back into Jekyll,
Ah, okay.
which I don't know if that's what he thought was going to happen or what, but it is what happened. It
Yeah,
triggered the transformation apparently either way, which I'm not sure that made sense either.
yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot of shit in this movie that didn't make sense.
Well, and he said that in order to keep him from not transforming, he had to drug him. So it would seem like if you're giving him more of the powder that created him,
That
he's going to
doesn't seem
become
like
stronger and harder to subdue with drugs,
right. Exactly.
you know?
And that's why it didn't make sense.
And what kind of drugs could freaking subdue a monster? I mean,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
ketamine?
you'd have to sedate him. You'd have to just keep him sedated. There's just
Yeah,
no other way. You'd have to basically put him in a coma
yeah.
until you could figure out what to do. And then you probably would never figure out what to do
Mm-mm.
because, I mean, he was completely baffled by just the chemical analysis. And
You'd
he's
have
one of the
to kill him.
leading scientists at the time, allegedly, except that he had no idea what was happening here.
And I know
Yeah,
he burnt his book and all of that, in the grand gesture of love.
yeah, very,
Woo-hoo.
very dramatic, wasn't it?
But this is your life's work. I think, what did he tell her? 15 years? The last 15 years of his life, he's been doing the same thing. And you couldn't remember the chemicals you used? I mean,
Uh-huh.
right? 15 years and you don't know
Yeah,
what you
no
did.
idea, right? No idea.
It's like
Exactly.
probably not a very good scientist. Well, of course he wasn't a good scientist. He was turning into monsters and raping women.
Mm,
Kind of discredits him a little.
just a bit.
Okay. On that note, that's perfect opportunity. The first time we witnessed the transformation,
hmm
he is screaming bloody murder,
Hmm.
hmm
and nobody hears it.
I wondered that myself, actually, at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, does the servant isn't hearing this? How the hell far away is he?
Right.
I think the servant knew but didn't want to know.
But
You
he
know?
showed up, but we saw him show up later. When he brought Cheryl Ladd in,
hmm
because she met him at the door.
But that was after what he did to her. So I think at that point it was kind of more of a, okay, whatever he's doing before screaming and locking himself in a room was just him. I think he didn't want it to be her again, so maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention. And then he tells her at the end, I never knew. Ah, you liar.
Yeah,
You
bullshit.
didn't
You
you
could not
know?
have not known. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
you lived in the house 24/7. You knew.
Yeah,
And
it
the
was,
story with the broken window and, oh, it was broke from the inside. It was like, yeah, but still, if you have a window broke, whether you broke it from the inside or not, that's still a broken window that somebody could still come through,
oh
whether
yeah.
how it was broke,
Oh yeah, no, the cops weren't any better at their jobs than anybody
Yeah,
else in this movie. I mean,
not
come
at
on.
all. But she wasn't being too helpful,
Oh
which, like I
no.
said, made me want to reach to the screen and smack her around. But she'd been through
Right.
enough at that point.
I never wanted to punch a Charlie's Angel so bad in my life.
Right? But it's like, why? And
I,
and see, they didn't let us hear how he gaslighted her. That's the only thing that would stay. We didn't get to hear the romantic speech. They kind of cut that. So when we see her again and she's lying for him, it's kind of like, what the hell did he say to her? You know?
You
I
kind
mean,
of it kind of makes you think that there must have been something, but I mean, he would have to have been doing that for a period of time for that to be the case. I mean, clearly she was just so madly in love with him that she did all that on her own, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, telenovelas.
yeah. Well, he had told her, I'm in a lot of trouble. And then they cut. So he talked to her and she knew, and I mean,
Yeah, the implication was that he told her everything.
right.
I mean,
In
how much?
the 2 minutes that the cops were waiting for him downstairs.
Right. Well,
And like I said, I would love to hear the slick words he said in 2 minutes that made her go, oh, I don't know who did this. And maybe I was lying. I don't know. It's
right.
like, Jesus, honey. Did he promise you money? I mean, is he that good? I mean, what the hell? But there'd have to be something.
Mm,
So to me, I also found that part very unbelievable, because if you're going to make a woman that much of a victim, at least let us hear what made her go, okay, I I can I can live with this.
right. I can throw sanity out the window and
Yeah.
get on with this.
I
Yeah.
can, because she knew also after that she wasn't the only one he did that to.
Right.
That he's wanted for doing this to multiple women. So to me, it wasn't just a, oh, I love him. It's, you knew that you, I don't know. I don't want to victim blame, but it's kind of like you knew you weren't
But
special
right. But we're in a
because
situation where
he
the
had
victim
done
is
this.
so unreasonably outrageous
Yeah.
that yeah, it just doesn't. There's just no. I don't think there's any way to rationalize it or justify it. There's just
Yep.
it's just it's like I said, it's melodrama turned up to 11.
Yeah. Because he loved her so much when he became a monster, he couldn't control himself. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't see that as sweep me off my feet.
Yeah, no,
That's a you need to be locked up for a
it's not. Both
while.
parties here need to be put away for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, it's not any she's not any less crazy than he is in a any kind of realistic situation,
Yeah.
and which is why this is so far gone.
And I know for time we don't get to see the build up or anything else, but in a lot of
I
these
don't know, we
movies,
had time for a whole lot of other
it was,
bullshit to go on.
yeah. But it's like these guys barely glance at these girls and they're like, "Ooh, I'm in love. I'm gonna give up my whole life because I'm in love." You've known him for 2 seconds. He was married to your sister. I mean, come on.
Right, your father still thinks he killed her. Come
Yeah.
on now.
And seeing that, to me, when you add that, okay, he may have killed your sister, he raped you, but you're okay with all of that.
Right. You're still in love. What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Like I
mean,
said, thoroughly unrealistic. I mean, downright ridiculous.
yeah. Yeah, not a fan of this one. I thought I
Mm.
would like it more because it was a more modern take, but no,
No, they took it was the worst possible modern take.
it was.
I mean, they did it. I mean, fucking Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde was a modern take, and it was better done.
Mhm.
And that's the one we didn't like.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
they went to
I
this, and they
I
just went
liked that one
straight to the
better
rape
than
victim
this.
thing, and oh
Uh,
god,
yeah. Well, because that's mainly the whole. I mean, yeah. I mean, other than that one date that we saw them go on, that's the main interaction we see with them is her
hmm
being raped. So it's kind
and
of a
right, and the aftermath.
yeah. Even kissing him and her lips are still all busted up. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, woman? I
Yeah.
mean, do you need drugs? I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, it kind of.
Hmm.
But I like I've told you guys before. I just don't care for movies that tend to rely on rape for entertainment. But it seems like with the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, it's like, what's the worst thing we can imagine that a guy could do? And that's what all of them did.
hmm
So to me, it was just kind of
And
a
it varied per time period, which
yeah,
makes sense because you get one in the 40s, you get one in the 60s, you get one in the 70s, and you get one in the 90s, and it just keeps kind of getting progressively worse
yeah,
because we're trying to shock and awe the audience now. And that, I mean, we always were trying to make the audience feel something, but you
right.
don't necessarily have to go to the worst possible scenario to do that. And that's
Well,
just shitty writing, in my opinion.
and the girl in the first movie that we watched, she I, she was another one though that was kind of like, why are you staying? If he's doing all of this to you and you've got these scratches, deep gouges in your back and everything else, why are you staying? At least at some point, she tried to get away. She didn't love him. It seemed more of a captive kind of thing than
Mm,
this one who's, oh, I love him. Let's take a family picture together.
right. And when she was asked, she even said, "He'll find me."
Yeah.
And
So
I mean, like you
for
said,
her,
that's gaslighting at an A1 level right there. I mean,
yeah,
he's psychological her into just this unnatural fear.
yeah, where it was more understandable.
Right,
She was scared. But this
right,
girl, she should have been scared and she wasn't.
right.
That's kind of what pissed me off, you know.
That was the fundamental difference.
Yep.
I agree.
To where it was the same element of the story, but was handled a whole lot different,
Yeah,
you know.
and it was handled poorly.
Yeah, in this one, completely. I just, I hate to be sexist here. A woman wouldn't have wrote it that way,
Oh yeah, no, not by a mile.
you know. Even the most sci-fi fiction, a woman wouldn't have wrote it that way, you
Mm-mm.
know. It's not believable at all.
Even if you're doing it, even if she still took um the hardcore victim stance. I was like, okay, this part of the story, the she is 100% victim. She still wouldn't have written it that way.
Mm-mm.
It
Nope.
would have been handled differently. It would have
Yep.
been handled in a way that hopefully that made sense.
And if you were gonna leave him with her or her with him, then maybe not include the rape. Maybe like rough her up a little bit.
Right.
You,
Why is
you know
that
what I'm
important to
saying?
the story? Yeah. I
Right. But I would be more easily to understand. Okay, you lost your cool because you were a monster. Okay, I get that. But when with everything he did, that's a lot to overlook. It wasn't just a oopsie. It was a monster. That was, dude, this is your core, and you did that. You're
hmm
sick. Get away. Red flag, red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We should probably let the other guys have
Oh,
opinions
yeah.
too.
Sorry.
Well, I'm surprised y'all hadn't mentioned one character that got on my nerves right from the get go. The busybody Snoop.
The
I'm
maid.
like, no,
No,
the
Annabelle.
socialite.
the
Yes,
socialite. Yeah. No, yeah. That
named after the demon doll Annabelle.
bit of foreshadowing there, but yeah.
Mm,
She
Um,
wasn't as bad because in a story like this where you're dealing with reputation too, you need a busybody like that.
she also really kind of showed up a couple of times.
yeah.
And yes, she was thoroughly obnoxious every time she showed up. Um, but yeah, yeah, for me it was a smaller part of why this was terrible than
Right. It was a small part,
but yeah, she was
boy,
definitely
Yeah,
obnoxious.
oh
she
god,
100%.
was.
yes.
I didn't like the maid either. Like when she made the room up, are you going to be sleeping in there? It's like, bitch, I pay your salary. I'll sleep on
Right.
the goddamn roof if I want.
You can have an opinion, but what you can't do is voice it.
Right. Get the hell out of here. Go
Shut
make
the
the
fuck up.
bed.
Right.
Yeah.
All you're supposed to be doing here is make the bed. Shut
Which
the
is
fuck up.
funny considering this is the character who's hardly in it because she's always gone. It's like, what the fuck? I mean,
Yep. Well, she's off
unle-
telling all his business, is what she's doing.
Apparently.
I
And then when she
guess.
ran to get the cops, and she's like, "Oh, but the cops are here." Well, who the fuck do you think called the cops, woman? You did. I mean, you know,
Well, she called the cops before she was asked to call the cops.
yeah. Which she was absolutely right to do. When she saw the condition of that woman, she absolutely should have went and got the cops.
hmm
But then to act surprised, oh, but the cops are here. Well, duh. That's kind of what happens when you call them. I mean,
Yeah, they
but she
show
didn't
up.
call them. She went and got them. So it's like, what did
Well,
you
they didn't have
think? I mean,
phones.
you know, jeez. Yeah, that's what they tend to do, you know.
Mm. hmm
And
To
I don't
me,
know of anybody who's like, "Oh, she's asleep. You can't talk to her right now." And they're like, "Okay, we'll be back like this evening." What? You just told us this woman was brutally raped and she's beaten, and you're not even going to let us see her? Yeah, red flag.
Mm.
You know? And
Okay,
they made
Les.
there were three characters that uh, just drove me insane. One was the socialite. I thought she was just one of the worst people ever. One was the reporter.
hmm
I kept looking at him and thinking of the guy that played Bernie in the Weekend at Bernie movies. And the third was probably the maid. But
Yep.
to me, uh, to me, I didn't see that some of this was bad. I thought the idea of the child was kept a secret till the very end, but I knew who did it, which makes me wonder how his DNA was changed so much
mm.
that the boy became a replica of Hyde. Second, uh, her not responding to her being Cheryl Ladd's character, not responding to a kiss because she was attacked by a man she did not know was Jekyll. She was in love with Jekyll long before this thing started because she made that comment earlier. She made a comment that she was envious of her sister.
Hmm.
And she kissed him.
Right, because at the time she didn't know Jekyll and Hyde were the same person.
Right. I don't know. I'd have to be in a lot of love, like stupid love. I don't know. Because that's a lot to ask you to overlook, you know.
A lot of love. Man.
She was in love before she knew. Remember? She didn't know that Jekyll was Hyde or vice versa.
Yeah, but then when he told her, though, that's what I'm saying. That takes like
Right. It's as if
a
she didn't
lot of
grasp
love.
the concept that, I mean, even after he said, look, that's me, it's like she didn't grasp the concept that it was him. She just didn't seem to understand. It's the only explanation was that I mean, I'd almost go so far as to say she didn't believe him, but she never said that. But
I
yeah,
agree. I don't think she knew. I don't think she believed him.
She did, though,
she did later,
Later,
because
yes.
after they were
the second
together,
attack, basically.
well, when he killed his dad, he came home and told her, you know, and it was
Uh-huh.
kind of a, oh, I mean, you know, it's a red flag, but you know, she knew
Right.
it
She
wasn't.
wasn't seeing any of these red flags is the
Yeah,
problem.
well, it wasn't a shock to her because she knew that he was Hyde, you know, and
Right. I
oh,
mean, and I guess
okay,
that must have cemented it in her head that she knew at that point, but I don't know. I mean,
but she still stayed.
there's a lot, yeah, and there's again a laundry list of shit that doesn't make sense in this
You know,
movie, and that is high on the list right there.
and then for
Very
her at
high.
the very end to be like, I don't know. Well, at the very beginning of the movie, it made it sound like she was a prisoner, you know, that was beaten and tortured in this house, and then you find out no,
Oh no, she just
she
chose not to leave.
loved
She was
him, and you know, after he died, then she chose to have a problem with everything.
right. Then she decided to take off
Yeah, so
and
it was kind of a okay.
put herself in witness protection and all that shit.
Yeah, but you was okay with it, and nobody but you knew any of it.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I still think the butler knew.
He knew he had to have known something.
Yeah.
Had to have known
Like you
about the
said,
shouting, if nothing else.
yeah, and the two different voices that he did and everything, he knew. He just, like that girl in the second movie we watched, it was for science and the greater good, and, you know, so he overlooked a lot of it until the girl got hurt. And that's when we noticed him noticing a lot more.
Mm.
But for him to tell her, I didn't, yeah, you did too. That's why you were the second one at the door that night.
This is why you'd make a lousy cop, Liz.
Personally, I enjoyed the movie, although it really strayed from Stevenson's story.
Just a bit.
There was no good and evil
Mm-mm.
in this, although
That's,
the character was both good and evil.
yeah. Did
So
he ever say in this why he was doing it? I don't I don't
he was,
remember him really saying
I
other
think he
than
was, I think he was trying to show that his wife was killed, but he didn't cause it. And he wanted to show people that what he was doing was in remembrance of her.
Do you think he
Afterwards.
killed the
Yeah.
wife?
No.
No.
No, it was said that she died from
Pneumonia was what they said.
Pneumonia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there was one of the early conversations between, I'm not even sure who it was between, but it was about what he was doing. I mean, because he had the lecture scenes the couple of times when he was at the front of the lecture hall and talking. And
Mhm.
I mean, he was, he made it, the impression I got was that he was trying to basically improve humanity, basically better living through chemicals, for lack of a better reference.
Yeah.
Um, but it was kind of vague, and he never really said anything specific about it. It was like they were trying to avoid the science for some reason, which always annoys me in movies. This is probably yet another reason I didn't like this, but it, but it was
Well,
really vague, and he didn't go into any detail, and I don't think he ever really discussed it with anybody, which is half the fun of these things, is when they start talking about the science. I mean, we got it in all of the other versions of this,
yeah.
just not really this one.
Well, I remember the kids saying, "Oh, so you're saying that we can control people with chemicals?" And he was like, "Yes." And the other doctor was like, "No. If you were born evil, you're going to be evil. Or if you were born with this defect, you're going to have this defect." And
Hmm.
Jekyll was like, "No." I mean,
We
he's
can
kind of
fix it.
half right, because we have been able to fix, well, not fix, but help mental
We've made
illness and things with
great
chemicals,
strides,
you know,
right? But yeah, but
but not, yeah, yeah,
right. This was just the worst example of all of that.
right. So he was half right, you know.
Right.
But I also think, especially with him raping, if you have that desire in you, it's a chemical can't put that desire into you. He
Right.
wanted to do that, but Hyde
Right. And
made it
I mean,
easier for him to do that. But you know, it's got to be there. The chemicals aren't going to put that in you.
right.
It's tapping into what you already have there.
Right. And that's been a running theme through all of these. And we've talked about
Hmm.
that. Yeah. It's the same deal.
Yeah,
It's just turned up to 11 in this one.
yeah. Which is why it pissed me off when he was talking to her about it. It kind of made it sound like, well, it wasn't me. It was the drugs. And it's like, dude, no.
No, that's not
It
how
was
that
you
works. And
on
you know it.
drugs, but you know, you've
The
been
drugs just
preaching
remove
this
the
whole
inhibition.
time. Yep. And the accountability.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't me.
Right. So
Yeah, it was. It was just
the
you on
strange tale
drugs.
of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in 1886 was a cautionary tale about the internet, is basically what we're getting to here.
Pretty much. Yep. Even down to the little troll at the end, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I prefer the older ones.
Mm-hmm. As time goes on, I will probably nitpick out other versions of this story just to see how it's done, in the hopes that of finding a really good one.
So far, what's y'all's favorite version of this story? I said last week, mine's Looney Tunes.
That's kind of a ringer, I
Right.
think.
My second one, I would have to go with Jerry Lewis. I don't remember him being, I remember him being rude, but not rapey.
Yeah, he wasn't. Um, I'm not sure I would list that as my favorite. Um,
Yeah. Enjoyable.
Honestly, I probably, I don't know. I mean, at where we are now, I'm torn between the Spencer Tracy and the Paul Massey.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are the two I've liked the best so far.
Yep. Two Faces of Jekyll I enjoy the most.
Yeah. I have already put, there's a couple of silent versions on Tubi that I found. I think one was from 1920 and one from 1912
Oh wow.
that I am curious to watch at some point. I think I need a little break from Jekyll and Hyde for now, but I'll come
Right.
back to those. I'm also still curious. I don't remember if I've watched the Frederick March version, the one you were talking about back at the beginning, Les, but I would be curious to see that one too. And then maybe some newer ones along the way.
Yeah.
I think there was one that starred Anthony Perkins.
Maybe. That might
Hmm.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Depending on the writing, of course.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to look back and see how different the takes are in all of these versions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's basically the same story, but yeah.
But yeah, different impressions of it from different writers.
Mhm.
Writing can make a big difference.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you have a favorite, Les?
Of the ones we've seen, I'm going to go with the 60s version with Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Because you had smarmy people in that, and they all died.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, all the right people bought it in the end, and that was
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Jekyll and Hyde died. Jekyll's wife died. Jekyll's friend died. To me, that was the winner right there.
Yeah.
that's the most satisfying option right there.
I thought it was also interesting to see Christopher Lee play the same story but a different part. That was kind of an interesting take on it too.
Yep. And you say that without having seen all of the other one we
Yeah. I quitted the cat.
Yeah, right. Well, he kept doing a really good job in that movie.
Yeah.
It was not a great movie. It was not a great version, but it's Christopher Lee. I mean, he's going to do well in whatever.
I
So it
did
was
kind of like him as
entertaining.
the playboy smartass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was fun to see him do something different.
And that
And
was
we
the second one we watched, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
and we almost had him as Dr. Loomis.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Carpenter went to Christopher Lee and said, "Hey, should you do this role?" And he turned it down and he said he wished he hadn't.
I bet.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
what you
fun
get,
role.
smart guy.
I know, right?
Actually, I that's my news item. Something about Carpenter. He's doing something pretty cool.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep. So tag, put a post-it note here.
Right. Teaser. Stick a pin in it.
Yep.
Or just hang around for a couple of minutes because we're going to go ahead and take a break and then we'll get to our news. How about that?
Yep.
Woo.
All right. And let's do that. Welcome back, and it's time for Geek News for You. In this segment, we bring a couple news items for discussion. This week, it is Liz and myself. And Liz, would you go first, please?
Yep. I thought this would be kind of a neat little news article to wrap up Halloween. This Halloween, they're doing a new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I forget exactly what that's called. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. They originally went to Robert England, which of course is Nightmare on Elm Street, and they went to John Carpenter, and they were going to give them both a star on Halloween, kind of encapsulates who they are and everything else. And when Carpenter actually found out that Robert Englund was also going to get a star, he actually backed out. And not because he didn't want it, but he said that he actually wanted this honor to go to Robert Englund because he kind of was Halloween. So I thought it was pretty cool because here's the guy is Mr. Halloween, even wrote Halloween, kind of giving a nod to someone that, you know, who did come much after him as far as Freddie goes, but I just thought that was totally cool with him. 'Cause it's like to me, that would be the honor. Star would be secondary. Just that someone like Carpenter thought that much of me and wanted me to have the praise that night instead of himself. So 2 thumbs up. That's pretty cool. And kind of an honor to kind of give away to someone else,
Right. I mean, I could see him not wanting to take any part of the spotlight away from
Yep.
Robert Englund. That's cool.
Yep. See, and plus, I thought it was pretty cool that Robert Englund was getting one because we don't see a lot of horror stars get stars. Usually this genre is kind of forgotten about. Not
It
a real big
gets
box office hit most of the time.
well,
It does have its cult following after, for
makes
sure,
plenty of
but
money. I mean, or they wouldn't keep doing them.
right.
Right.
But it's
But
also it's not treated well by critics and the like,
it's not. No.
for sure.
And it doesn't bring in Superman or Avatar money, But us weirdos like it, so we appreciate it and anything they give us. But like you said, here lately, we have been seeing a lot of really good producers and stuff making a name in this field, which is making people take it a little bit more seriously now.
Hmm.
So I hope they continue to do that. I think
Yep.
some of my favorites now are people who have come. I say recently, Blumhouse has been around for a while, but he's not an OG. Carpenter's an OG. He was there when it wasn't cool and nobody wanted it. So, but yeah, it is nice, like I said, to see it. I don't think it's quite mainstream, but it is popular than it used to
Well,
be.
and I also think that a lot of us don't want it to be entirely mainstream because it's the mainstream stuff that doesn't always sit right with
Well,
the
it
fans
winds up
sometimes.
getting watered down.
Right.
Like I'll always go watch them, but kind of like people are saying about the comic book movies, they're cool. I mean, they're badass movies. You got action, you got fighting. Some of them you got romance, you got every movie. But there was such a rush to put out so many that now it's not as cool as it used to be because it's becoming watered down. Plus, it was awesome when they threw a Superman at us because how often did they do that? But now it's kind of like, oh, you're doing Superman again?
Mm.
Can we do someone else? So, but yeah. So yeah, it is pretty cool. Like I said, it's nice to see these up and coming and especially acknowledgement from like Hollywood that hey, this is a thing and people like this.
Hmm.
But didn't they say you had to be a star for like 30 years or something like that before you could get a star on the walk or
There's a whole process, and it's not everybody is real clear on what it is, and
yeah.
it's a whole thing. I
Cuz
mean,
Somebody's
I was
got to
surprised.
nominate you first.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
Cuz
yeah.
I was
I
surprised that Carpenter hadn't been like nominated or honored before. I mean, he has other stuff than just Halloween, but That was kind of a surprise for me. But kind of like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too. Sometimes these people that are getting in, it's kind of like, wow, Motley Crue wasn't already in there. But I guess it is. They had to have been there for so before they could.
Right. Each of these places has their guidelines that they use. And I don't know what
Yeah.
they all are, but
Yeah, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, your first album has been out for like 25 years or 30 years or some such like that before you're eligible.
Okay. See, that makes sense too. And it also makes sense to make an actor wink, because how many times have we seen someone come in and they're popular and they're in everything, and then in 5 years you
and then
don't
they're
see them
gone.
anymore? Yep.
Yep.
Which I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to Pedro Pascal. I know even I was getting burnt out. I like him, but even I was getting burnt out. But not enough to where I don't want to see him in anything. I
Right.
just got tired of seeing him in everything.
I really thought she was going to say Jensen.
So did I, honestly.
Oh, I'd watch him and everything. He could sing me the phone book and I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But pretty cool. I think they're gonna do like a whole grand production and everything else. So if you're a
Nice.
fan, Halloween. Yep.
Sweet. Good for him.
I said that was totally awesome of Carpenter.
Mhm.
Okay. Excuse me. For me, I've been seeing stuff on this off and on for the last few months. Matter of fact, I posted something on our Discord at one point. But the fact that this is not going away kind of makes me wonder. In 2027, there's a certain film that turns 50. That film, you may have heard of it, called Star Wars.
Mhm.
Lucasfilm has said they are going to re-release the original trilogy, but there is some scuttlebutt, and sources are saying it may be the original theatrical releases that may come
Interesting.
out remastered.
Sure.
Matter of fact, there's one rumor out there that the first one's already restored. It is in 4K already.
Cool.
So
Do you
obviously,
think they'll do it like bam, 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 or they'll space them out?
I mean, I find it hard to believe they'll wait 3 years between them.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably come out like when he released them in the stereo system that he had.
The
who,
VHS.
yeah, who
Days.
knows? I mean, they could do them over a couple over across a year, or it could be a special event and do all three of them as at one sitting. I mean,
Like at a drive-in. That'd be cool.
they've done that before.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That'll be neat.
Yep.
So
It will.
I know there's a lot of fans who would really love to see the original cuts be released, but George has been against it, and there's some speculation that could have been the condition of the sale, that the original cuts never get released, but who knows? We'll never know all that stuff until it actually comes out, or not comes out.
Well,
So,
see, he's kind of like what we were saying about Del Toro. he has this vision in his head. I mean, my God, he came up with his own production company to get it out of his head, which is still top of the line today. I could understand him not wanting the originals to be released just because he's now been able to do more and kind of get that vision a little more clear out of his head to where, he was quote, quote, happy with this release, So I could understand him being like he is, not wanting the originals to come back out.
Hmm.
Which to
Because
me,
look,
it would just show people where you've come from. Jesus, dude. I mean, even the originals were freaking state of the art, mind blowing, Who cares if it's not sparkly enough but he does.
well,
So
on that note, Liz,
Mhm.
what if I were to tell you that we were going to go back and find the first episode of our show that you were in and re-release it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
He might not want that to happen. I can
right.
sort of see. I
Yeah.
mean, I can see the logic on him for sure, but I don't.
Especially how far he's come since then, you
Uh-huh.
know. Which I'm not trying to say the originals are bad. I'm not.
No, 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 not at
But
all.
for someone who's tortured artists like he is, it was. He didn't
And
he
he's
didn't
also
get all of it out until he learned to remaster and cut a few things and
right, and he's also become notorious for making tiny little changes every time he's re-released them,
yeah,
which
because it
makes
was
it
that
seem
one
like.
little thing that drove
Hmm.
him nuts. Yep,
Hmm. Yep.
that's just the way artists
So
are.
yeah, I mean it's the way everybody is. I mean,
Yep. And if he was to see the original, those tiny little things that most people would miss are glaring to him.
sure.
So I could see that.
That said, I want to
Although,
see the originals, but
yeah,
you know,
I would like to see it. Yeah. They had said that he just made an announcement that he's finally done. He has stepped away. But they said that what helped make that decision for him was that they had a complete script for was it The Search for Ben Solo? And Kathleen was like, "No, we're not going to do this."
It was actually Bob Iger. It was Disney.
Was
Lucasfilm
it?
was on. Yeah, Lucasfilm was actually on board.
Yeah. They said it was good, but
Yeah, Adam
they're
Adam
like, "No."
Driver and Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh were behind it.
Yeah. And that was the final push. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, I thought he sold Star Wars. I mean, didn't he already say he had stepped away? I mean,
He's because he was wanting to do other stuff,
yeah,
but he really, to my knowledge, he hasn't really done anything since Red Tails.
yeah. So hopefully this is the good slap on the hand that he'll go, fine, fuck you, and he'll go do other things. I'm
or
curious
just
on what he can
retire.
give us. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But he's got stories in his head,
Uh,
and they got to come out.
okay, they don't have to come out to the public.
Right? I do hope he's wrote some of this down, though. You know, think about how much we've learned of Tolkien from the stuff that he left behind and didn't put in books and things. You know,
Hmm.
the insight that was offered. So I hope he's writing this stuff down or someone's recording him or something because
Yeah.
he is a giant footprint. And
Yep.
that's not even if you take Star Wars out of the calculation, just Lucas Studios is a giant footprint because they just didn't do Star Wars. They've had a hand in almost everything we've seen here recently that's come out of Disney, anyways.
Hmm.
Was it the Imagineer Station or whatever it is? But yeah. Pioneer. That's the word I was looking for.
Ah. Yep.
Pretty cool.
Alrighty. Any special shout outs or mentions this week?
No, not me.
We'll be a day late, but happy Halloween.
Be more than a day late.
2 days late.
2
Yes.
days late. Yep.
Halloween's a Friday. This will be coming out Sunday the
Sunday.
2nd. So happy November.
Yep.
Math is hard.
We'll tell you to turn back time.
Oh God,
Oh,
yeah, we'll
yeah.
have to do that.
Math sucks.
Yep.
It does.
I don't know. It kind of sucks that it's dark at 7 o'clock, you know. So I'm kind of looking forward to the time change this year because, yeah.
You want it to be dark
It'll
at
be,
5
it'll be,
o'clock?
yeah,
Well,
it'll be dark at 5. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know then.
You-
No, I don't want it.
You're
I'm
thinking about
thinking spring. Yeah.
you're thinking about spring forward.
Yeah,
where
you're
it'll be
doing what everybody else does, which is mix it up, which that's
Yeah.
why it's such a pain in the ass. And if we would
It's
just
just
leave it alone, it would be fine.
dark
But
at
anyway.
7 o'clock. And then I'm trying to tell myself, no, you're not tired. And I look outside and it's like, no, but it's dark. You can go to bed, but it's only 7 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it's going to get even earlier now.
Yeah, that sucks.
Speaking of that reminds me one of the body cam videos I watched today. That cops were doing a welfare check of a single father and 3 kids, and he's an alcoholic. So he comes up to the door, and he's like, "Where does it work? We just wanted to check on the children." Well, they're at school. No, they can't be at school. Can we come in and see them? They're at school. Sir, it's 9 p.m. They're not at school.
Yeah, a little late for that.
Whoops.
Ah, God. So, all right, let's go on to our regular shout outs then. First off, I want to thank Pop Goes the Culture for allowing us to be part of the great little podcast network. Definitely check them out. There will be a link in our show notes. Want to y'all check out the fine men and women who spread the word of the fellowship on Twitter by retweeting our links. They're better known as Potter and Family. Just scroll through after doing a search, hashtag Potter and Family. Take a look at what you find there, and if anything catches your eye, by all means, please download and check them out. Hope you have a good time listening to them. Want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying the music to our podcast. In our show notes, there'll be a link to where you can check out some of the other pieces of music. And you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. Email at thefellowshipofthegeeks.net is our email address if you want to reach us out this way. On our website, if you go to the About Us page, there's a contact form you can fill out there. We did mention the Discord a couple times earlier. That's free to join. We have an open invitation on our homepage. Discord is free to sign up, and the apps are free in the app stores. We post a lot of news items, stuff for discussion, stuff to laugh at, stuff to listen to, trailers. We'll have some activities on there, so if you want to come and hang out with us, please do so. Social media-wise, Facebook, we're The Fellowship of the Geeks. On Instagram, Twitter, and Bluesky, we're at Fellowship Geeks. If you'd like to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found at Mikey Geek. Liz can be found at LN_geek. Les may or may not be found at Fake Les Webster. and I can be found at TomTCGeek. And from wherever you download our episodes, if you'd be so kind enough to rate and review the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate the support as always. And until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook at The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. Until next time,